So there's a petition going around to strip Jon Jones of his undisputed heavyweight championship, and it's got over 100,000 people signing it, which is insane to think, okay? Just to get that off the bat. But I want to talk about something in this video with the Jones situation. But before I get into the whole petition thing, I want to talk to Tom Aspinall. Like he's ever going to fucking see this video. 99% chance he never will. But there's the 1% chance he actually does. I want to talk about this whole Tom situation. So I made a video talking about Tom Aspinall has news, okay? And he said, heavyweight news incoming. And he fucking did a sponsor. Okay? Now, in fairness, I will defend Tom Aspinall a little bit before I go in. That he did say, I don't announce my own fights. Okay? The UFC announces my fights. Cool, he said that. Whatever. How are you clickbaiting me so bad that you say heavyweight news incoming, and then in the comment section you're tagging Guru saying get the bucket and gloves out or whatever the fuck he said. I'm defending my belt again. That's just cruel. Okay, Tom? The whole MMA world, including I have made so many videos defending you, saying you will knock out Jon Jones, okay? And you go ahead and do that. That is fucking cruel. Okay? That is fucking cruel. You're actually on thin ice with a lot of MMA fans now. A lot of people want Jon Jones to win. How are you doing that? How are you doing that to the fan base? I was actually so disappointed, like. Not even the fact we didn't get any news, but just the fact he said heavyweight news incoming made it seem like this massive announcement, like. And then you just announced that you're sponsored by a brand. Fuck me, man. If you had just said it's a sponsorship or something like that, or literally anything else apart from heavyweight news incoming, fuck me, man. I was honestly just like, how could you do that? How could you do that to every single MMA fan that's backed you from the start, that's been backing you, saying you're going to beat Jon Jones, saying this, backing your name the whole time, and then you go ahead and pull a stunt like that? God damn. God fucking damn. Okay? Absolutely so disappointed in Big T there. I won't even lie. I was so heartbroken because I thought that was it. Even when I was in work, I was chatting to a few of my friends about it. Oh, we're going to get an announcement. We're going to get an announcement. Jon Jones is going to get stripped. But no, we got a Tom Aspinall sponsored by Champion. You know, that brand that no one really wears. It's a good brand, to be fair. And you know, Tom looked like the fucking... Honestly, he looked like he belonged to like a GTA poster. The way he was holding that dog and shit. It was pretty cool, but I was just like, fuck me, man. How could you do that to the MMA fans? But in other news, in more lighthearted news, so there's a petition going around saying strip Jon Jones of his undisputed heavyweight title, and it's got this many fucking signs as right now. Let's be completely honest here. This isn't gonna do fucking anything. It's cool, it's great to see, it's gonna get clicks, it's gonna get fucking this and that. But realistically, the UFC team are not gonna sit down after everything that's happened now and say, fuck, they've got this petition out there. Okay, now we really need to change shit. You know what I mean? In fairness, if you look at the UFC's comment section, every single thing is just strip Jon Jones, get Jon Jones out of there. We need news, we need news. And we have Macy Barber versus Aaron Blanchfield at the weekend. Derek Lewis is headlining the UFC in 2025. Like, this is fucking ridiculous, some of the matchups we are being made. Maybe they're just like throwing this under the bus so that they're just announcing shit fight nights and shit cards that will be too focused on trying to get Jon Jones stripped. I don't know. It's just like the whole situation with Jones and Aspinall. Am I the only one that just doesn't really care anymore? I couldn't give a fuck anymore. Genuinely, I just want to see Tom Aspinall fight. I want to see a heavyweight, you know, champion, a real heavyweight champion, and I just don't care about that fight anymore. They just prolonged it, and Dana White has fucking glazed Jon Jones so much over the last year, even though he's so many failed drugs tests, sorry. So many bad shit has happened with this whole thing. And I'm just like, I could just book me Tom versus Gan in England or France or somewhere in Europe. Or just fucking book it anyway, I don't care. I just want to see the fight now. I just want to see Tom Aspinall fight. Fucking get rid of Jon Jones. Once again, this you know, it just fucking pisses me off so much that we're getting shit fight nights and the biggest fights aren't being fucking made. Do you know what I mean? No wonder so many people lost interest in the UFC when fucking shit like this keeps happening, bro. Oh my lord. It's just, it blows my mind, okay? For a company that's so big and has done so well, you fuck up so bad with some shit. Okay, we have one of the worst fight night cards in history at the weekend. And I'm going to have a full card breakdown, unfortunately. It was torture even looking at the card. Trust me, it was fucking awful. Okay, I wouldn't wish breaking down that card of my worst enemy. Oh, Mateus Gamrot. I don't give a fuck if Mateus Gamrot's in that card. I don't care. Okay, I don't care. He lost to Dan Hooker. You got chinned by Beneil Dariush. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? He didn't get chinned, but he got knocked down and lost to Beneil Dariush. No one cares. Okay, no one cares. But like the whole Tom versus John, I probably will. Obviously, I'm gonna make more videos on it because it's the biggest talking point in the sport at the moment. But this petition is really just like fans' way of saying like hurry up. DC and Chael started talking about it as well, which I thought was pretty cool. But it's not gonna do anything. The UFC are too fucking stubborn and too glazing John Jones to ever let him just get rid of that belt. And I'm honestly just like. It honestly makes you just lose interest. Because, like, what are we even looking forward to now? Dana White just said, oh, we'll get it done. When? I've fucking heard that so many times from Dana White about McGregor, about Tom versus John. I don't care anymore. Just fucking book Tom versus Gann for the vacant belt. Or just do what you did for Robert Whittaker, I think it was, where you just gave him the belt. Okay, he was the interim champion. They just gave him the belt when GSP vacated. I think... why don't you just do that? Why is it so necessary for John Jones to have his belt, but Islam Makhachev isn't going to be allowed to get double champ status? Ilia Topuria isn't allowed to get double champ status. They both have to fuck off with their belts. But John Jones can do an Ultimate Fighter in Russia, hold up the division for 2 years, okay, duck Tom Aspinall, duck Francis Ngannou, and he's allowed his belt. What, like... Everyone's just saying the same thing on this situation. What's the holdup? Okay? This, and if you're... It just pisses me off. And it just makes me sad. Because, like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I cannot, for the fucking life of me, understand. Okay? The last year, I've been hearing the same shit out of Dana White's fucking mouth about this fight. And I'm just bored of it. Like, just get rid of that belt from John Jones. Why do you have to why does he have to have his belt? Okay? I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. But like Topuria and Makhachev, they have to vacate. Even though Makhachev's the most defenses in the division's history. They have to vacate. Okay, they have to vacate. But John Jones can sit around, he can go do his Ultimate Fighter in Russia, he can hold the division. A year has been skimmed off of Tom Aspinall's career. Could you imagine him if he was, let's say John Jones vacated last July? When Tom beat Curtis Blades, he definitely would have ran through at least 2 contenders since then. Probably had a third booked. But no, he's just sat out the last year. Like, do you remember Toy Story, Squeezy and Woody, when he tore his fucking shoulder and he was just sitting on the shelf? That's what Tom Aspinall was like the last year. Fuck me, it's absolutely brutal to watch. I just don't get it. And this petition's cool. This petition's fine. But if you think this is going to make any difference in the landscape of MMA and the landscape of this fight happening, you're so fucking wrong. You are actually so wrong. It's just not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's really not going to happen. I always had kind of hope that they'd book this fight. But they're never going to book this fight. They're never going to book this fight. And I just want them to say it. I just want them to say it. I've said this before on this channel and on my TikTok. The whole Ngannou versus Jones thing. Jones tweeted, show me the money. And this whole back and forth, the same bullshit that's happening now. And for people who are new to this situation, this has happened before. Go and look at the whole Francis Ngannou thing. Ngannou would have starched John Jones. Fucking starched him. And I would have loved to see it. And anyone that's saying, no way, you see the Cyril Gane fight, get the fuck out of here. Okay? Such different stylistic matchups for Ngannou. Ngannou out-wrestled Gane as well, let's not forget that. 2 rounds down with a fucking busted up knee. Cyril Gane could have won that fight for sure. And if we look at Jones versus Stipe versus Ngannou versus Stipe, Ngannou versus Stipe was actually one of the best performances I've seen out of a championship fight. And that was prime Stipe. He was the current heavyweight champion. Whereas Jones fought him fucking the last fight Stipe had was when he got folded by Ngannou. I don't know, man. I'm just like, it feels like the sport is just being fucking ruined by Jon Jones once again, and anyone that thinks he's the GOAT. You're just living in fucking Mars. How can you have... Is TJ Dillashaw the bantamweight GOAT? No, because he failed the drugs tests. But Jon Jones can fail 3, have events moved, not fight Chael Sonnen on short notice, not fight Francis Ngannou, not fight Tom Aspinall, get a robbery decision over Dominic Reyes, but he can be the GOAT of our sport. It's fucking bullshit. He never has been, he never was, and he never will be the GOAT of this sport. Anyone who thinks otherwise, you're living on cloud fucking 9. Have a look what is happening right now in the sport. He is clearly ducking Tom Aspinall. He wants nothing to do with him. Absolutely nothing. And if you go back and rewatch that Stipe Miocic fight, you would know Tom Aspinall chins him in one. Like, subscribe, thank you for watching.